So, leaked DJI photos, real or fake? Coming right up. What's up, all you drone maniacs? Welcome back to Drone Logic for your drone and tech related info from my point of view. So we know that DJI, like any other tech company, they're always hard at work with their R&D teams, research and developing new ideas, new concepts, improvements on old products, and what's going to be the next revision. Anyway, there have been two photos that have been released of possible DJI products, and I'm going to go over these photos to see if they're real or they're fake, because I'll just give my own opinion on it. Now, the first photo is the one of the Mini 3 that's been circling around. The Mini 3 RC Pro, the Mini 3 Pro. Now, I printed up a picture of this thing, and of course I have a picture of the screen on it. Now, as I look at this thing, there's two things, a bunch of things that stand out. Number one, let's look at the Pro controller. Now, it's obviously different than the smart controller in the RC Pro, as in it was a light gray as opposed to the dark gray. And it looks to me like this seems to be a RC, it's the same color as the RC 231. So perhaps maybe this is the RC 231 with a screen in it. It looks somewhat plausible. My question would be, where would you put the thumbsticks? I don't see any holes on the bottom for the thumbsticks. It could possibly be at the top or the bottom, on the sides, but I see it has to probably more likely have to be at the top, because I don't see anything on the bottom. And you see what looks to be two lanyard straps on each side on the bottom. You know, you have your, it looks like a Pro controller. And it has a screen in the middle, and all of it looks like a RC Pro. So if someone were to tell me that this was an actual product, I would definitely, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it. In fact, if this was the DJI's controller, and I would actually welcome this, because it looks like an RC 231 with a screen in it, essentially. But where it all falls apart though is the drone itself. This drone, this looks like it has Photoshop written all over it. It's like backwards. It's like a backwards drone. It looks to me like someone took a Mini, took a picture of the back of it or something, and photoshopped as if that's the front. Now, the thing that really stands out to me is really, first of all, the arms. If you look at the arms, like the arms are just backwards. They swing out backwards. The arms in the rear swing out straight like a typical Mavic, and then the ones in the front look like they flip under. And that right there doesn't look well. That doesn't look right. It's like somebody clearly photoshopped. And then there's the camera itself. You got the two sensors on the front, two huge sensors. It's definitely huge for a drone that size. And then you have that little the dip in the middle. Now it looks to me that looking at that little cutout in the middle between the sensors, it appears that the camera gimbal itself could pitch up straight up, and if it's not completely 90 degrees, then it can pitch up considerably with that little dip in it. Perhaps maybe that's the concept of this, but it just doesn't sit right for me. This thing just fake all over, especially if you see the DJI symbol across the top. The Pro part is like angling down, so it is definitely not real. And then you have the second picture. This is the smart controller, or a different smart controller. Now, as I look at this here, I would definitely have to say that this is a lot more plausible, and I will believe that this is real. Most notably because you're competing with the Alltel's controller, that their smart controller, which has that large screen in it. Well, this seems to be like it'd be competing against that. First of all, if you look at it, it has those huge antennas, so that should definitely help with range and connectivity to the drone. But you also, what I see, that's one thing that really stands out to me, is you have these 6 functional buttons. You have 3 on the left, and then you have the 3 on the right, the L1, L2, L3, and the R1, R2, R3. Then on the left side, you see at the top of it something that appears to be a drone takeoff button, drone launch button, and at the bottom you see the return to home button. And on the right side, you see it, what appears to be a red or an orange button at the top. I honestly can't tell you what that's for. Could it be for taking pictures? But it seems to me that that would be up at the, it'll be at the normal spot at the top part of the controller, top right side of the controller. That's with all the rest of the ones. And you also see at the bottom, you see a power button. And also you see the DJI symbol in the middle. Now this picture here, I was probably, if I would had the choice, I would say that that's real, because DJI has to compete. And one of the complaints that people have had of this smart controller is a smaller screen. Some people just like a bigger screen, and that's what the Alltel smart controller offers. So DJI has probably put this concept out, as creating this concept to compete with that Alltel controller. And also reportedly this is supposedly designed to be packed in with their larger drones. You know, they got their agriculture drones that they're putting out, the, you know, more construction drones. But I don't see why something like this couldn't work with their lower tier drones, you know. And I would definitely say that this the one is real. So this picture here, the one of the smart controller, this bigger smart controller, I would say that this is probably real, because it definitely looks real. It could be Photoshop now, it could be fake, but to me that one look real, looks plausible. And the one of the Mini3 that looks fake, it's all to be damn. Again, I'll take that controller. I like the concept of the controller, and if DJI were to make this their standardized controller, that would be great. But the drone itself, it looks fake, it's all to be damn. But anyway, so this is just my 2 cents on this. Only time we tell. Reportedly, the Mini3 is supposed to be releasing in April. So if this is true, we'll know shortly. But like I say, I think that the Mini3 photo is fake. I think that the smart controller is real. But only time will tell. Anyway, this is my 2 cents on those leaked photos. And there have been many other videos out there. But like I say, this is just my opinion. And as always, y'all, until next time.